Hello and welcome back to Area Nerdy 1. I am Jarrett.
And I am Jimmy. That's me.
The pizzazz is real.
I am Jimmy.
You roll the charisma of 1. My name is Jimmy.
Hi, my name is... There's those who call me Jimmy.
So today we're going to be talking about the new release of Morbius and amongst other nerdy ass news.
Yeah, what do you want to get into first? You want to just talk about Morbius first? Or you want
Well, we got to talk about, the thing is, we have so many movies these days.
Yeah.
We have to go over and a lot of other stuff. But you know what? Also, I just don't get enough time to try each one, right?
Yeah.
But you know what? I really want to try like a little bit of each one.
What?
A little bit of coffee.
A little bit of coffee.
Because
do you need the energy to make you a living vampire?
I do need the energy to make me a living vampire. And just so happens, if you don't like the taste of blood, A positive, B positive, AB positive, A negative, or O, B plus negative, you can go down to Bell's Country Coffee and get a coffee flight.
Coffee flight?
Coffee flight. All different kinds. Just like the movies that we like to try and taste and get a little bit of each. You can get up to 4 different kinds of coffee and try them all.
Go on, I'm listening.
Oh yeah, because one of the things that Jimmy and I do like to do is going beer and wine tastings, and coffee goes right along with it. Rich flavor, bold aesthetics. My God, why hasn't this taken on sooner? And now they have it.
Who's they?
Big Nerd Coffee Company.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So if you want to head down there and try many of their awesome coffees in a myriad of different ways, either get a nice big cup or 4 little servings, you got to make a reservation because they do go quick.
That's right. All right. Okay, so now that we've done that, want to talk about the living vampire Morbius, which is kind of an oxymoron because vampires are dead. You can't be a living vampire.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I guess the term living dead is already an oxymoron, but like living vampire is like it's a hat on a hat.
Well, it depends on what kind of vampire you're talking about. In like the Underworld series, they are technically alive. They're just gothic. An affinity for leather.
Yeah, they don't really explain it.
I don't really explain it that much. So, let's go over first of all the comic book origins and the beginnings of Morbius.
Okay, actually, I've got a little bit right there. There you go.
So he looks like a glam rocker from the 1980s, right there.
Pretty much, yeah. When did he? Let's get our facts straight first of all. When did he this?
Let me look it up.
When did this guy? Well, look up Morbius. When did this guy debut? Come on. Okay,
that's the film.
I know, but I mean, hold on a second. Morbius Living Vampire debuted in October 1971.
Yeah. So quite a long time ago. He's not exactly... He's part of the Spider-Man Rogues Gallery, but he's not part of like the Sinister Six.
No, he's almost kind of an anti-hero, or more of a tragic villain almost. So he was I think it's fairly similar to the Jared Leto portrayal where he was a scientist, he had a rare blood disease, he's trying to figure out a cure, and he ends up turning himself into a living vampire by a Marvel science. And then, he's a vampire, so he has to go out and like drink people's blood.
But does he like drink random people's blood, or does he just go after like bad guys?
I think that he started off like having to deal with his bloodlust, and then he went after bad guys.
Okay, so he's just basically a cannibalistic anti-hero, kind of.
Yeah. I don't think that he needs to actually. I don't think he needs he's not like eating people. I don't think he like needs to kill people to do it, but like
it's still cannibalism.
Yeah. Of course. Yep. So he's. Yeah, radioactive blood of Spider-Man once caused his pseudo-vampirism to go into remission. And then in other versions, like the Marvel Universe, the Marvel Ultimate, comic book storyline, he is actually a vampire.
He is actually a
vampire. He's the brother of Dracula.
That simplifies it a little bit, and you don't have to go through the whole, what do you call it, the science.
Right.
Basically the fantasy science of it all.
Yeah, exactly.
But so the reason I asked about his comic book origins is because I feel like they do. This is kind of like with Venom and everything as well. They don't really do movies well when it's just the villain.
Yeah.
They because the movies aren't really letting the villains be villains. They're trying to make, they never really understand how to just make a movie about somebody you're just supposed to hate the entire time, which is hard to do anyway.
It's not even that you're supposed to hate them. It's like, everyone likes Thanos. Like Thanos is the worst bad guy in our modern movie history, but he's really kind of what an anti-hero should be. It's like you're able to sympathize with him, but you are very able to, like, with a person with morals is very able to definitely, like, say that's not cool what you're doing there.
Yes, exactly. You could see where he's coming from.
Yeah, or Killmonger. Killmonger would have been
a really good one.
Anti-hero.
Or even who's the new Captain new Captain America?
Sam Wilson?
No, not Sam Wilson. The other guy.
What do you mean? What's his face? U.S. agent.
U.S. agent. Yeah,
something Walker.
Yeah, Christian Walker. I feel like he's a really good. Yeah, I think he's a really good anti-hero because he's really tragic. You see his progression as a villain, and that's kind of where we should be.
Yeah, exactly. So he's a bad guy. You don't want to side with him, but you can't help. In his case, you don't agree with him at all, but you cannot help but feel sorry for him.
Like, you can feel his sorrow when he gets the shield taken away from him, but you definitely don't want to give it to him. Sam Wilson deserves that shield, and U.S. Agent definitely would not have been able to do it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, Venom was not a good movie because Venom isn't a villain. He isn't a hero. He doesn't really have any agency.
Yeah, he doesn't do anything, really.
Yeah, he has no agency. But they always, like, have the save the world moment. So they're heroes, but they do a couple of bad things, but they're anti-heroes. But that's not really what they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be these villains. It's not a bad concept to have these villains have their own movies and build them up. So when they meet their superhero counterparts, you know how powerful they are,
right?
And you can even sympathize with them a little bit, or just like go full like Tarantino on it and just like. You're just like on for a 2-hour ride of carnage, like literal carnage with Venom.
I think that Deadpool the movie, but I think also to a large extent the comics Deadpool for right now is also a huge culprit because he's not an anti-hero. He's just a hero that doesn't go out of his way to be a hero, basically.
Well, no, he's a hero that kills people, which is just John McClane.
Yeah,
John McClane's not an anti-hero. He's the hero.
Yeah, so he's quippy but doesn't get along with his team. Like that's his edgy.
That's his edgy.
And there's blood and swearing. Like that blood and swearing does not an anti-hero make.
Exactly. My favorite version of Deadpool actually is when he's in the Hulk versus Wolverine.
Oh yeah. It was like a weird like one-off animated movie.
Yeah.
Back when Marvel was kind of trying. I think they were kind of trying to do what DC was doing with the animated.
Yeah. They didn't really succeed that well, but they did come out with some pretty banger movies. Like that one was pretty good, and like Deadpool is just kind of like that quippy guy. He doesn't break the fourth wall, but like the first time you see him, Wolverine gets shot, and then you hear, "Hey, it's me, Wade. I shot you." Like that's like a perfect way to set up an anti-hero funny villain.
Yeah.
Like he's definitely like not as soon as like his organization that he's working for falls apart, he's just gonna go off and do his own thing.
Yeah.
Like he's not like loyal to Project X. Is it Project X?
Yeah.
Yeah, Project X. So there's a good way to put Deadpool and anti-heroes into it.
Yeah, and then you want to go on the DC side. They just recently had Suicide Squad, which then of course spun off the Peacemaker, who is again that was actually a very good anti-hero, and Vigilante even more so because he's like Deadpool for so far for DC.
Yeah,
where he's funny in like a weird. In a way, but you also definitely cannot
like if
him.
Dwight Schrute was a metahuman.
Yeah.
The one thing I would have liked in Peacemaker a little more is if he was dealing with the whole killing of Rick Flag a little more.
Yeah,
like that was his turning point.
Spoiler alert.
Because I would have liked to see that a lot more. Like when you go into his room, he has pictures of Rick Flag everywhere. Yeah. Like he's trying to be like Rick Flag, and then so when he, spoiler alert in Suicide Squad 2, when he kills Rick Flag, it's less of like a duty kind of thing, and he's like killing his icon.
Well, Doesn't Peacemaker takes place after Rick Flag?
Yes.
After Suicide Squad.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I wanted it to go, but it's okay. Morbius the movie, however.
Okay, so they seemed like they were kind of banking on this a little bit.
So Sony is not in the deepest shit water ever, but like they're the thing that holding their universe together is pretty much Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's like Venom is. It was very popular, but critically, it's not doing that great. Like it's popular among fans, but you can only make so many bad movies before people start to catch on.
What I find is the first Venom is passable.
Yeah.
The second one, fans don't even really like it. It's for the casual people, and even then, it's really hit or miss.
Yeah.
But for the fans and the critical reception, it's not very good. Morbius was in development hell forever.
Yeah.
It's like at least a year behind.
Yeah.
Its release date, so the anticipation was already there.
So
I don't. Yeah, I don't know.
So yeah, it's like it seemed like they're not necessarily trying to make their own cinematic universe to be on par with Marvel, but sort of maybe trying to at least be in the game.
Yeah, because it is connected to all the Spider-Man.
Yeah, it is connected to Spider-Man, at least adjacently. So it's all they still own Spider-Man.
Yes, they do, but they can't put him in the same cinematic universe.
Exactly.
They really were banking on this being bigger than it really was.
Right.
And the reception right now is terrible. No one likes this movie.
Right.
Really. Some people do find it interesting, but it seems like there was just so much going on.
Right.
There's nothing like it's supposed to be like 6 different movies all tied into one.
Yeah, and first of all, it's a character that is not super popular. No one really knows. I mean, I knew who Morbius was from. Here, let's see if you know who the OG Morbius is. And
No, I never watched that.
You never watched that show?
Mom and Dad never let me watch shows like that.
I used to watch that one all the time.
No, I wasn't even allowed to watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because it was so.
Well, you would break shit.
I would break anything.
Lance would start flying.
That's fair.
Yeah, like all the things that Nancy Reagan was saying about how 80s, shows were gonna corrupt our youth, like it all funneled to you.
Nancy Reagan. Yeah. It's yeah, I never watched that before, but was that a good depiction?
I don't recall. I remember it's a Spider-Man animated series, so like I'm probably looking at it mostly through that's for later. You're not supposed to see that yet.
Jesus.
I know. Yeah, we're gonna look at that though. I was a huge fan as a kid. Like I was, I cared less about like the storyline and the plot and what was going on. Just I wanted to see like
cool shit.
I wanted to see the Lizard and I wanted to see Venom and Carnage, and I just wanted cool shit to go on. Like I didn't give a shit about Morbius. He was like one of my least favorite characters on that thing.
Yeah. But now, I saw like a meme where it was on it. Now Jared Leto has like ruined another DC, another comic book universe. Like the worst DC movie, the worst Marvel movie. But the thing is, Jared Leto is a good actor,
and I call bullshit on that because the one thing that probably redeemed Suicide Squad for Warner Brothers was the fact that they could merchandise the shit out of it thanks to Jared Leto. Yeah,
and Jared Leto's depiction of the Joker, whether you like it or not, it was definitely different, and they had a story behind all that. They just didn't. They just weren't able to do it.
They J.J. Abrams a little bit. They set up the mystery box, but didn't deliver.
So. It's not down to Jared Leto. Jared Leto, I think he's doing really well in the role and what he's given. This was I think it was just edited to hell.
Yeah,
it was really unfocused.
That tends to happen when things are in development hell. Like like you say, the focus tends to shift, and then or it like changes hands. So like what was made has to be retooled for another person's vision or ability.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're definitely not going to get into Morbius 2. I highly doubt
No,
highly
like
doubt
the one thing that they seem to be banking on was the fact that it's somehow connected to the Marvel universe because they added Michael Keaton's character in the trailer. Like that's what they were banking on. People like, oh, I want to see how he's connected.
Yeah.
But since we've already seen Far From Home, we know exactly how that played out.
Yeah, I mean, what they really should have done with this, and this is Jared's edit. That's my thing. Where it's, it should be like exactly kind of like the Batman. It's a serial killer detective movie. Morbius is the monster. There's no doubt about it. He's not an anti-hero. He's not really likable. He's just trying to survive. He's trying to cure his sickness and help cure other people, but he's gone way too down the rabbit hole on this.
Yeah.
And
or make it like the Wolfman, where like he doesn't even have control over it, but like he's like running from it basically.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of things you could have done with this.
That's just off the dome from a couple of non-writer dudes.
Exactly. I mean,
don't and then the entire story.
Yeah, you can't be a monster and funny.
I beg to differ. You want to know how you can be a monster and funny?
How?
Be Nick Cage.
First of all, we are in a Nick Cage renaissance, and makes up for everything that's happened in the past 3-4 years.
Yeah. So, to semi bring it back to your point before, you make Morbius the monster. I thought it was going to be more of like a movie monster, like Dracula type thing, because you can tell from the trailer and like in the story, he's on a boat. And like the boat like ends up bringing him back, and that's what happens to and like they go on the ship and everyone's dead.
Yeah.
And that's a scene directly from Dracula.
Yes.
So I thought they were gonna go more in that direction. So this is an image of Nicolas Cage as Dracula himself.
Dracula.
Yeah, from an upcoming movie called Renfield, which is a monster comedy horror movie. So
I love every single thing about it. Look at that suit. There's nothing more Nick Cage than that suit. God damn. Oh.
I'm bringing up another one, but keep talking about. So Renfield is a movie coming up, and it's going to be about Renfield, who was the guy who, in Dracula, he's the guy who basically is kind of gets hypnotized and falls.
He's a Dracula's thrall, essentially.
Yeah. In the original book, he acts as his servant a little bit, but then rebels against him,
and then he gets his neck broke.
Yeah, but in other subsequent portrayals, he's portrayed as more of like a tragically hypnotized, completely enthralled slave of Dracula,
which is interesting. And there are some Dracula's kind of hard to do because everyone's seen it to death. I mean, even we saw a shit ton of Dracula movies from.
Oh shit!
God damn it, Jimmy.
I know. This is me adding stuff as we go. So
yeah. So we even as kids we didn't read the books or anything, but we knew Dracula. One of
it's like Darth Vader or Santa Claus. You may not know all about it, but every kid knows it.
Yeah, one time during Christmas, you got the on VHS too. This is way back in the day.
Yeah,
Jimmy got the original 1930s Frankenstein, and I got the original 1930s Dracula. And we watched that on Christmas.
Yeah, so in the Dracula one, so in the original 1930, I think it's 1931 version, modern audiences, it's not that great. It's really slow and really tame. But what they did was the the version you got, they overdubbed the soundtrack with it was a string quartet, like a modern string quartet.
Yeah.
And it brought the whole thing to a whole nother atmosphere. It's
very well done.
Yeah.
So in Dracula's castle in that movie, there are armadillos.
Why are there armadillos?
So, interestingly enough, because people in the 1930s were apparently fucking stupid, I'm just saying that because nobody knew what an armadillo was.
Not even.
So they were used in other movies too to depict demonic forces because they were so odd looking. So
what about people from Texas? So you're telling me that in the 1930s, when a movie was we need this scene to be extra creepy and demonic, we're gonna bring in these little armor raccoons
that basically made the movie Road to El Dorado.
Yeah.
The real unsung hero is the armadillo. It's not even in South America. I don't think there are armadillos in South America.
I don't know if there's. It's not supposed to be South America. I think it's
Central
supposed to be Mexico.
But yeah, and then also in Dracula there is a bee that comes out of a little coffin.
A bee?
A bee.
Why?
Fucking had it.
Huh. But anyway, yeah, I'd suggest going back and watching it. But anyway,
We-
so Nick Cage is going to be Dracula.
There's no shortage of good Nick Cage.
They're gonna.
movies.
I hope they let him off the leash for this one.
Well, there's that. What is that one movie? The Nick Cage movie.
The incredible talent or something like
Yeah.
unbearable talent. I forget what it is where he plays himself.
I want to see that so bad. It looks so fucking good. I just want to live in that movie.
Do you want to know? So this movie is going to be about Renfield, the servant of Dracula. You know, who's my favorite Renfield from all the portrayals?
Who?
I don't know if you remember this guy.
Oh my God! Yes.
So this guy's name, you guys may remember him from the Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters 2, and his name is
Peter
McEnroe.
More importantly, he was Uncle Ira.
Oh my God, he's so funny.
As the uncle in Veep.
So he brings all of that energy to this Renfield thing. He's just
Yes.
like it's the most hilarious part of the movie.
When he looks at Jonah and goes, "Shut the fuck up!" It kills me.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Yeah. So Dracula Dead and Loving It is, I think, one of Mel Brooks' like weaker movies. Like it's definitely not his best. Recycles a few jokes, I think.
He does. I think it was a pretty good movie. Actually, I just rewatched Men in Tights. Recently, and I thought that was as kids we thought that was the funniest movie ever.
Yeah.
Very weak movie, honestly.
Yeah.
It's still pretty good, but it's not Blazing Saddles or Young Frankenstein.
Right, but Leslie Nielsen plays Dracula in this version. So
he's amazing.
He's actually a pretty good Dracula.
Yeah, he's well known for like his comedic roles, like in Airplane and what is it, Loading Gun?
Yeah, Naked Gun.
Naked Gun. But hi Julia. But he was actually a dramatic actor for most of his life, and he was even a stage actor. And I think he got into comedy on accident through going onto Airplane, the set, because for that deadpan, because he's a dramatic actor. Everything he was saying was just like this.
And Don't Call Me Shirley.
Don't Call Me Shirley.
And he keeps a straight face the entire time.
Excuse me, sir, are you a doctor? Yes, I am. He's got the stethoscope in his ears.
I just want to tell you both good luck. We're all counting on you. So yeah, this is my favorite Renfield. Go back and watch that movie. What's my favorite part, God, where he like they want him to lead them to Dracula, so like the orderly's throwing him out of this assignment. He just goes, "Watch your step," throws him off the stairs.
Oh my God.
Okay, let's bring it back to Morbius.
Morbius. So I think the trend of this really lazily done anti-hero villain-esque CGI shit is just, it should be done with. Let's let villains be villains. I don't think the Joker was as good as people thought it was.
Yeah.
But as a character movie, really well done.
So you think that maybe if they had focused more of just on Morbius as a character, because like I said, nobody. I'm not gonna speak for people, but like Morbius in my mind is a very low tier Marvel character. He's definitely not the most popular or most well known.
Yep.
This could have been the vehicle that like opens up a new door. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
there's dark shit going on in the Marvel universe.
Absolutely. The way they should have done this is right from the get-go, Morbius has all of his powers and stuff. And he's doing stuff. And you get the backstory as the detectives are unveiling like the secrets and stuff.
Yeah.
What I think this could have been is the Sony version of the Dark Universe.
Yeah.
Instead of Spider-Man going after these guys, he just was like, let them fight kind of thing. New York City just becomes the Gotham City for these underground monsters, basically.
Yeah. That could have been. Yeah, that could have been.
It won't be. You're not winning a ton of Oscars for this, but it's entertaining and it's different from what Marvel is doing, and it's different than what DC is doing. It's different enough that people will want to go to it.
It'd be right up our alley. Like
It's right up my alley.
Monsters and superheroes. Are you kidding me? Sign me up.
Yeah, and then eventually you can like have one be like eventually what I would see happening is like there's like monsters like what like Morbius and Venom and all these other people, you know?
Yeah.
So what do? They get villains to fight them. And who do they get?
Dr. Octopus.
Fucking Dr. Octopus. And then they get Electro, like the Sinister Six, but like not like the Sandman. So you get the Hunter.
Yeah.
Like
Craven
the Hunter to hunt down these people. And like that's your cinematic universe.
Or I mean, like that's what they wanted to make a Sinister Six movie.
Yeah.
So
well, they wanted to make the Sinister Six movie for Spider-Man 3 with Sam Raimi.
Yeah. So we might see, looking ahead to the future, we might see something along those lines with Blade. So this is a fan poster, but it is known that they're coming out with a Blade movie, and it's going to be portrayed by Mahershala Ali, and who played
criminally underrated actor.
Criminally. So well, he played Cottonmouth in
wasted
in Luke Cage.
Wasted character.
Now I just came across an article that was titled "Why They Had to Kill Off Cottonmouth," so I'm waiting to read that before I pass judgment on that. But yeah, he was like, I argue with you that he was one of, if not the best villain in the Marvel universe so far.
Yeah. So first of all, I'm not really impressed with Netflix that much, but because their shows, their movies, I'm not really. It's really not for me.
The first season of Daredevil slapped, and they've been chasing that dragon ever since.
They've been chasing that dragon, but what they did with Luke Cage is this. He's unbeatable.
Mm-hmm.
So what they focused on were the characters.
Yeah.
Especially, Cottonmouth is the perfect villain.
Yeah.
For any Marvel movie or any Marvel anything.
Yeah.
Actually, this is a man on the ground. He's real.
Yeah.
He has actual character.
He had a rich inner life that you got glimpses of, and
had a perfect actor.
Oh yeah,
perfect. What I thought they were going to do with Diamondback Cottonmouth was that this was going to be like the urban version of Hydra.
Yeah.
Instead of being like this nefarious thing, Hydra. Instead of being this massive organization trying to get death beams and sharks with lasers on their frickin' heads. They start. This is part of their Splinter Cell, Hydra, of the inner cities. Cottonmouth, Black Mom, not Black Mom, snake names.
Yeah,
Hydra.
They almost went that direction with it being with the hand in the first in Defenders, but they kind of one of the hand was infiltrating Harlem and got on Luke Cage's turf.
But Hydra versus the hand. But instead of because Luke Cage is fighting these Harlem thugs,
or the 10 Rings.
The 10 Rings.
I think the 10 Rings is going to take the place of the hand in Hydra.
Good. But I thought he was going to be part of this massive organization. That's why he's so cocky, and that's why he has all he knows he's untouchable, because he's not just has this nightclub. He doesn't just have a bunch of thugs. He has. These thugs are actually Hydra soldiers that are trained for infiltration and stuff.
Or 10 Ring soldiers, and he's got Wen Wu's backing and blessing, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
but
he's bring it back to vampires.
The
vampires. So he's gonna step into the sunglasses of Wesley Snipes, and he's gonna be Blade when it comes out.
I've never seen him in a physical role. No.
He is, and he's got some major dramatic credits to his name.
Maybe that's what they're going to go for. Wesley Snipes, to his credit, is a very good physical actor.
Yeah, he's a black belt in Shotokan karate, martial artist, and just cool as shit the entire time.
Yes, exactly. So Marshall Ali will be able to do that, but I don't know, because Blade is a vampire killer.
Yeah, we're going to see karate vampire killing.
Yes, exactly. So if I won't be mad if they take him in a different direction, but I want to see what he can do. I just don't want to. a CGI Neo kind of thing.
I mean, like, so, okay, full credit to Mahershala Ali. Like, not
Yeah.
everyone's a stuntman martial artist. Like, as long as they get a good stunt crew in there, there's really no reason to fret.
Yeah, no. No super like fast cuts and shaky cam, please.
Yeah, no shit.
No shaky cam.
This isn't a freaking student film.
No.
Yeah,
Like-
go back, watch some '80s Hong Kong movies, write some shit down, learn from it.
What that would have been good though. Like Morbius, if it was a good movie, Morbius is in the cinematic universe. Then they bring in Blade, and then they meet, and Blade tries to kill Morbius, and he's like, "I'm a biological vampire."
Well, that's the apparently that's kind of the plan. There's is like starting to tie these things together. I think they were at least going to have a cameo or something. There was rumors flying around, but since Morbius is, how do you say, terrible, then
I would say it sucks.
yeah,
Blood sucking.
Wheeze. Okay, so then Blade, that's coming out.
Yeah.
And we don't know what vampire is going to be in there. Probably not Morbius though.
Yeah.
There is Dracula is a Marvel character. Like he's in the Marvel comics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would like to see like Morbius as like this like tragic character trying to go through this thing, and like he meets Dracula, and he's like, yay, pretty cool. Morbius actually would be an interesting character for like Dracula, because like Dracula and Blade, because they're like going off like demonic stuff and like curses and stuff, and then here's Morbius with a like whole different thing going on, and he doesn't. And as far as like their little ecosystem, he's like outside of it, and even could be like feed off of actual vampires. So he's like dangerous to everybody.
Yeah.
They fucked this up so bad.
There's so many angles.
There's so
that
many
you could come
good
from. Yeah.
There's so many good angles. How did they screw this up so bad? I don't know. I'm almost impressed.
Yeah.
I'm impressed actually.
It's got a 16. It went down 1% in a day at least.
It's
It's
like a
got
stock.
16% on Rotten Tomatoes. Like Rotten Tomatoes, I don't usually take a ton of stock in,
No.
but if something's like either really high or really low, you can pretty much take that.
I don't use Rotten Tomatoes anymore because Rise of Skywalker had like 100% at one point, and I was just like, no.
Oh, I wonder how
No.
much those critics were paid.
Yeah, no thanks. Disney, I'll be a critic for you. You can pay me. And
No, we don't want your opinion.
But speaking of bad vampire movies, we gotta actually talk about a good Bat movie.
Okay, you went and saw it, didn't you?
I went and saw it. I saw it in theaters.
Me too.
Theaters. Oh, such a good movie.
Let's see here. I don't really have one. Wait, maybe I do.
Do you wait? This is like one of the things I told you to get.
I know, but like I don't know if I got like the full. Hold on a second. Just hold on.
But anyway, we're talking about the Batman, the new
Batman.
the Batman.
The singular.
So as far as Batman movies go, it's not my most. I scratch that. It is my favorite Batman movie, but I know it's not perfect. The Dark Knight is by far, in my opinion, a perfect movie, 100%. But like,
I think it's an excellent movie, but it's not a great Batman movie.
that is fair. That is more than fair. That is fair. The Batman definitely just said, "Fuck it, we're doing it live," and did their own thing, and I love it. Find the picture.
I don't have it. Okay, so let's just go with it. Okay, so I want to specifically talk about one thing I love about this movie was Gotham in this. Like, so Gotham, the city, is such a vibe in this movie.
I think also, yeah.
It's I'm gonna name off all the reasons why it's such a vibe. So it's huge, but like claustrophobic.
Yeah.
It's like they actually really well meshed. Like Gotham City is supposed to be kind of a combination of like modern city and Gothic architecture.
Yes.
And they really did that well. Like everything, it's
everybody's jostled together.
Everybody's jostled together. Everything's like, the city is massive in scale, but like everything's like all the spaces are so tight and like dark and stuff.
And grungy.
And like look at this, like the diner scene. It's evocative of Nighthawks, and it's like everything just seems like worn and like dated, but not stylistic almost.
Like I'm not going to get political, but it seems like America itself. Nothing's been updated since the 80s.
Exactly.
Essentially.
Yeah.
It's modern times, but nothing has really changed since 85.
It's like urban decay without being gratuitous about it.
Yeah.
And they actually show it. Like, instead of just being like, hey, this is happening, but here's a picture of Chicago.
Yeah, exactly.
And like every single, and it only really happens in the background. Like, it's a character, it's like there the whole time, but you have to like look to see it.
That's something a lot of Batman movies don't really get, is that Gotham itself is a character.
Yeah.
A little bit in the Tim Burton movies, a little bit with the style, but it's not.
That was more just for the stylistic choice.
Yes.
Like, it doesn't, like, Gotham, you feel its presence the entire time.
The one thing I didn't realize I wanted to see this as much, but until I saw it, is in one of the opening shots is when they have the bat signal on,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not just for Batman. You see all the criminals elements seeing it, and they run away. But more importantly, they look to the shadows. Batman's not there. He doesn't step out of there and beat up everybody. He's just the threat of Batman being there is enough to have them scatter.
Yeah.
Brilliant scene.
Oh, that was I was
Brilliant.
never more scared of Batman than in that moment.
Oh, yeah. Like, I think this is what really Ben Affleck's Batman should have been, is the symbol, going from the Ben Affleck's Batman from Batman v Superman to the Justice League is becoming a symbol of fear to a symbol of hope.
Yeah, they almost had it with a couple of scenes in Batman v Superman. First of all, when they're rescuing the women from that warehouse or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and the guy, like, in the background, you see Batman, like, just up in the corner.
Yeah.
And he, like, it's. I feel like if they played with the lighting a little bit more of that, you'd get more of this, like, okay, to people of Gotham, Batman is literally just a shape in the night.
Exactly.
And then
they really should have, he let those women go, but they didn't leave because he was there.
Yeah, they thought he was a demon.
Exactly.
And then the other scene is where Clark Kent, he's going to that apartment building, and there's the people there, and the older gentleman is like, it's like, you need to leave. It's almost nighttime, and he's gonna come out. And he's like, who? And they're like, no one. You don't need to worry about him. Like, they don't even say his name.
Yeah.
He's just like, there's a new kind of mean in him. He is angry and he is hunting.
Great scene.
Yeah.
Great scene. There's a lot of great scenes for Batman, but this really gets the griminess of it.
Yeah.
What Batman is.
I love in comics when people, like, when the characters talk about other characters.
Yeah.
Like, for some reason that, like, it just builds on like the relationships and what that character is so well.
I think that the reason you like that is because it's not real. It is realistic, actually,
Mm-hmm.
because in most movies you're supposed to show, not tell.
Yeah.
Because characters are not supposed to tell you about other characters and what's going on. However, Batman is larger than life.
Mm-hmm.
He's a hero. He goes around, beats up people, and does justice.
Mm-hmm.
People will talk about him.
Yeah. That's why everyone's afraid.
You go if there was something like that in Gotham, like Gotham was a real place and Batman was real, unprompted people would talk about Batman.
Yeah, that's honestly okay. Let's deconstruct the scene.
Yes.
So first of all, the first 5 minutes it's setting up that, like you said, the criminals, they look into the shadows and they think Batman might be there and they scatter.
Yeah.
But then when you get to the point where the gang actually sees Batman come out, they're like, he's like, it's just a guy. They're not afraid.
Yeah.
People are afraid of the idea of Batman,
but they're not afraid.
Not necessarily of the actual person.
Yeah, and then we even can take that a bit further. When he goes to the club as Batman, they don't let him in.
Yeah.
They just and they're shooting him. Well, in the club, they're more than willing to go up against him. That's another thing I like about it, is that it shows that he, as Bruce Wayne, can do things that Batman can't.
Mm-hmm.
He gets in the club easily. He gets to go see who he wants to see. Bruce Wayne has more sway over Gotham than Batman does.
Right.
And I think that's the thing I really wanted to see, is him becoming the playboy, the billionaire, that he's supposed to be.
Yeah, maybe we'll get to see more of that in the sequels, as long as if they keep up with that quality, I'm good.
Yeah.
Just heads up. Here's a little bit of concept art that was released of what they were looking at for what Gotham was going to be like. And like I say, this is like the center of Gotham, its most like high tech area, but like it's you can see like it's the centroid of Gotham. But like all the lights shining in, but everything else behind it is in shadow. Yeah,
I do like that. I do like what they did come up with. Like there's this high tech like futurism, like not almost futurism about it, but then there are like cobbled streets. Like the city didn't like naturally grow like New York City. It's literally built on top of each other.
Yeah, like until you're literally down below the water line.
Yeah, I saw this with my girlfriend, and the thing that we loved the most was the penthouse. Its penthouse is in the middle of the skyscraper, and it's all of the stonework. It's amazing.
It's like it's a cave.
It's a castle.
It's more of a cave than the actual Bat Cave is.
Yeah, the Bat Cave is like a garage, but where he lives,
it's like got all these gothic stalactites and stalagmites.
Yeah, I never thought of it like that. It is a cave. He literally lives in a cave. And then the Riddler himself, I wasn't too impressed by, but I think
that's the point.
That's the point.
You pull the mask off, and he's an angry 4chan user.
Yeah, exactly. And then all of his friends are angry 4chan users.
Yeah,
as well. Yeah. I thought he was really good, especially in the fact that he's what an anti-hero really should be from like Sony's perspective. You know, he's doing all these bad things, but kind of he has a good reason. He's Batman. Yeah. With a gun.
Or he's a little bit more like the Punisher. Like of course, the Punisher is the hero that like all the heroes hate.
Yes.
Like I don't know. So one of my favorite scenes. I love, like I said, in comics, I love it when they talk about the people. There's a scene from this comic book where they're these low level villains are having a card game in Miami. They live in Miami. They're talking to one of the new guys. They're like, hey, he's like, I'm thinking about moving to New York City. He's like, they're like, if you go to New York City, they all at the same time say, stick to Midtown. He's like, why? You're like, because that's Spider-Man's turf. He'll just wrap you up in web and leave you for the cops. Like, you go to Hell's Kitchen, you're going to get concussed because Daredevil's got anger issues. And they're like, Luke Cage is also pretty bad, and so is Iron Fist. But if you see the Punisher, run and hide and pray. Like, that's, like, you get to, like, when people talk about each other in, like, comics, and, you get to see, like, the nitty-gritty of these characters.
That brings up a good point. I really like that. Hang on. What you said is that's Spider-Man's turf.
Yeah.
These heroes don't work well together. They literally have their own territory that they stick to.
That's something these villains said. He's like, they're like, stick, watch out for your territory. And he's like, oh, is it other villains? They're like, nah, it's pretty much a free for all with villains. It's the heroes you got to watch out for. Yeah. It's their territory.
Like, we get like things like the Defender and stuff, but like Luke Cage will not work with and go into the territory of Daredevil. And I kind of like the idea that heroes are just as dangerous to each other as villains are.
Maybe not even dangerous, but petty.
But petty, yeah. But like, if the Punisher goes up, will definitely shoot at Luke Cage. Like, they're not friends.
Yeah.
Like, and Spider-Man will definitely not see what Luke Cage is doing as correct and try to go after him.
Definitely, no one's gonna think that what the Punisher does is correct.
Or Daredevil.
Yeah.
I kind of like that heroes are just, I would honestly say, just as dangerous to each other as the villains are.
Yeah.
Because, they have their territory. And also, some heroes have their own pride and their egos going on. They're not going to share the limelight.
Yeah.
They're not like Homelander or anything, but, getting punched, getting decked by freaking Spider-Man is not going to feel nice.
Exactly. Okay, so what have we... All right, we kind of talked about our main subjects. Yes. So there's a couple other things we want to talk about. You have something you want to go first?
Well, you can talk about your thing, because I kind of rambled on for quite a bit.
All right, well, first and foremost, we found out this week that E3 is 100% canceled.
100%?
Yeah, E3 2022. So, as far as I can tell...
First of all, for those who are out there, what is E3?
E3 is the electronic something expo. I forget. Okay, E3, it's basically where they reveal all the new electronics and video games that are coming out in the coming year.
So gaming stuff.
Yeah, that's the main thing. There's a lot of like electronics and gaming system style announcements. Now they were planning on, according to IGN, they were planning. ESA was planning an in-person E3 event this year, having no event in 2020 due to COVID-19, and in 2021 it was all digital.
Yeah.
But it was canceled in January.
Okay.
ESA unable to make a public, but they at the time were unable to make a public statement. Update at E3 ESA. The ESA has shared an official announcement that E3 2022's cancellation, and it looks like I want to say they probably were like trying to plan either or, but maybe I've seen this happen with like events in my personal life. This isn't like, this is just pure speculation, but I'll bet they were like trying to make like, okay, maybe it was a hybrid thing. They were going to do half in person, half digital, but they weren't like getting good quality results. Yeah. And so they decided like, okay, we're going to scrap the thing. Things aren't looking great this year. We're going to wait until 2023 and like get a fully in person, fully revitalized E3.
Yeah. I think honestly they just don't have anything. Like, because everyone's been at home, the releases have just kind of been steady. Like, there's no build up anymore. You can just release them whenever.
That's fair. Also, again, pure speculation. So E3 it's an electronics expo. It relies heavily on availability of things like microchips.
Yes.
So, maybe E3 itself isn't affected, but the whole industry has been affected by the microchip shortage, which has been made worse year by year.
And everything else going on in the gaming industry, especially Blizzard.
Oh yeah. And in just the past month, that's been blowing up majorly.
Yeah, and of course Microsoft has been buying all of the gaming industry essentially, and that's a big issue as well.
Yeah. So again, pure speculation, but maybe they wanted something tip-top quality and they weren't getting it. Maybe there's just not enough materials to warrant having an event like that.
Yeah.
And then
maybe
all the shit going on, all the controversy going on.
Exactly. And also, I don't think, honestly, if this is my own stupid opinion, but I feel like all the games are the exact same multiplayer. Shitty multiplayer that'll be phased out within 6 months.
Yeah.
I mean, people aren't going to go to spend hundreds of dollars to go to an event to have tons of multiplayer games that they can't play after a few weeks.
Right.
And also, like, there's like an Ash versus the Evil Dead game. That's a multiplayer, which is fine. Multiplayer games are really good. They're really entertaining. But the thing is, when they drop off hard.
Yeah. Go try and play Battlefield 1.
I did. Yeah. I was the only person in the world playing multiplayer. I couldn't get anybody to play it.
Yeah. Exactly.
So nobody wants to drop $60-$50 on a game they can't play.
Yeah, and if you're gonna drop these games, then they have to have staying power at this point.
Yes, because they have a ton of competition.
Yeah, and people, video games are still very popular, but maybe people don't want to pay $60 a pop anymore.
Yeah. Did you know Call of Duty World War II is still listed at $60?
When did that come out?
That came out like in 2015.
Yeesh. Well, I mean, like, are people still willing to pay that? That's
No.
No? Okay, yeah. Then I'm right.
I'm not willing to pay it. I wanted to play that game. Like, I wanted to play that game. I can't play it because I'm not paying $60 for anything.
Yeah. So all these things we're saying about E3 at this point is pure speculation. What they've officially said is that they want to devote all their time and energy to having a top quality event in 2023. Yeah. The reasons for canceling this event are really kind of unknown at this point.
If they cancel it next year, that's when we start having some real problems. Because E3 doesn't exist for 5 years. Like what?
Like I said, there was nothing 2020. They had online. Years. They had it online in 2021, which was it was all right, but it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
And then now they got nothing.
The big sell for that is the people walking around and getting to actually use the new technology.
Right.
That's how you sell it. Getting the average nerds like you and me, and getting into those like Oculus chairs and stuff. That's how you sell that shit.
And not even the people watch it. Not even the people there, but the people watching that shit go down. Like that's how you people take off work to watch E3.
Exactly. But the virtual events are still good. It's good to be safe and physical distancing and everything, but it doesn't sell, and that's what E3 is. It's a showcase to sell, and I don't think if they don't do it next year, or next year's a really big. If they do it next year and it's a big blowout, I don't think we're gonna have it again.
No.
Son.
No, that ain't me. So, all right, we're running up on time here. I think we got time for one more subject. Is that something you wanted to talk about?
Yeah. So, Elden Ring is actually getting very good reviews.
Okay.
And I saw this concept on TikTok. I forget who it was. I'm sorry. I really should have got his name. But he said that Elden Ring has done something almost no game has done for a very long time.
What's that?
Release a game.
I require elaboration.
Release a game that is complete, full, and playable on release. As in, there's no updates, there's no patching, like Bethesda or something. Like nothing. It's you buy it. It's a game. It's good.
Have there been any major bug reports?
I mean, with any new game, there's some bug reports. Nothing really too major.
Right.
No like massive crashing or anything like that.
Right.
But it's just a game you get to play, and I think that's what people are really flocking to Elden Ring, and that's why people are like Elden Ring's really good because streamers and average gamers can play it right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Like pretty much no problem. It's not like this still in beta.
Right.
They took their time, they made the game, they put it out there.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's not Fallout 76.
And it seems like they really had to take their time because what seems to really sell this is the visuals and the setting.
Yes.
And that's no mean feat. You have to spend a lot of time programming that shit.
I'm not a big fan of the whole Dark Souls formula, going up to something and then bashing it for an hour and a half and then going on to the next one. And this is just an open world version of that, so it's really not for me, but it looks like a very good game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
and then
hopefully the rest of the industry takes cues from that.
Yes. Yeah. Probably not. Definitely not. I mean, it's no microtransactions either in this bitch.
Let's examine this for a minute. Like, do you think that with the way things are, the way the consumer base consumes video games now, do you think that this would be more of a shift? Because I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's a way in person.
If this will take us back to the ages of gaming, where the only other thing you would have to buy is maybe DLC later in the game.
Right.
No. It's so much more profitable if you have somebody pay $60 for a game and then microtransaction and loot box the shit out of it. I mean, we really do. A lot of people really do love Battlefront, and Star Wars Battlefield, but it was loot boxed the fuck.
Yeah.
And they made a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's what the market is, and that's what it's going to be from now on.
But it seemed like they somewhat squashed that a little bit because of all the heat that it caught from lawmakers.
It got heat, but of course, once that gets pushed through and it gets cleared up a little bit, it's going to be right back. And of course, we always get this stuff where we're going to get it with Elder Scrolls 6. When it's going to get released, it's going to be a beta. And they're going to patch it as they go along.
Yeah,
because
Bethesda.
Even though Microsoft bought them, Microsoft is a company, and they're not known for doing very
Microsoft, am game company.
No game company. But Elden Ring, I feel like if the people that did Elden Ring got George R. R. Martin on and then put out an Elder Scrolls game, fire.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Fire.
Hell yeah.
Or, no, you know what? No. What they should do is re-release Skyrim, but better.
Re-release Skyrim, but better.
Yeah, actually have a Civil War plot line, get George R. R. Martin in there to, actually write some shit.
Yeah.
And, when you re-release it, actually add stuff. And don't just make grass better. That's not,
Don't make grass better.
Make grass better. Add some more factions. Add bandit kings that if you don't clear out a certain amount of bandits in a certain like during the Civil War plotline, there will literally be homes that'll be taken over by bandits,
Right.
and you have to clear them out too.
And then, yeah, and by the way, no one asked for fishing. I have never been so unexcited for an extra feature in a game than I am for fishing in Skyrim.
We're gonna re-release Skyrim. Did you change anything? We put fishing in there. Only $19.95.
Plus tax.
Plus tax. Yeah.
And there's a patch.
I mean, that game has been re-released so many fucking times.
I'm still playing it.
Yeah. What I really think they should have done is in the Civil War plotline, gave the Stormcloaks the ability to, like, in the plotline, if you have the Dawnguard DLC, that the Stormcloaks at a certain point join up with the vampires. And you have to recruit the Dawnguard to the Empire side, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Just, like, make it more seamless.
Yeah.
Make it more interesting.
Yeah.
Make it better.
Make me feel less like I'm in a game with that one.
Yeah.
Like everything, like, you know, going back and playing it again, it's like I now that things have progressed so much, like I just feel so much like I'm in a game playing that.
Yeah. The capabilities for Skyrim to make you feel like you're in a real world is amazing. They definitely can, but they don't want to do it. Like, if you completely ignore the Civil War plotline, there should be battlefields you come across. There should be burned out towns. Like, this is what happens when you diddle-daddle in a freaking war.
Yeah.
You know? If you join the Empire, there are more Thalmor around. If you join the Stormcloaks, you have to fight more Thalmor.
Mm-hmm.
You know? The embassy is actually, like, interesting.
Yeah.
An interesting plot line, you know?
We digress.
Yeah, we digress.
This is about,
the thing
that came out like, what, 20 years ago now?
Yeah, 20 years ago.
No.
But the thing is, the reason why we're so pissed off is that Morbius, the Elden Ring, and all these games and all these movies have a ton of potential. And they actually have the potential to not just be passable, but be really good.
Yeah.
It's squandered, though.
Yeah, put some thought into it. Like, actually believe and want to, believe in your craft.
Yeah, don't go with the formula. The formula works, but people have, seen a Marvel movie.
Yeah. We
know exactly what's going to happen. The bad guy is going to get blowed up in the end, and there's going to be some quipping at the end.
Yeah, I mean,
that's it.
But, this tendency of, Hollywood, especially in Hollywood, you see it, is like, it doesn't matter, even if, movies are low quality, even if people don't like it, if it made money, that's the formula they're going to follow. But we've gotten to the point where, it has been over 10 years since Iron Man came out, and like we are looking for other stuff. People are, the people who originally were into that stuff are older.
Mm-hmm.
The kids who are growing up have so much to choose from. Look for something else.
Yeah. And I feel like even Phase 4 of Marvel is lackluster at best. So it's going to be really interesting to see that.
Yeah, maybe let's talk about Moon Knight next time, because I haven't watched that one yet.
I have to watch it. It looks really good, but of course,
isn't that your favorite guy?
Oscar Isaac?
No, the Moon Knight. Isn't he your favorite Marvel character?
My favorite Marvel character. Yeah, I guess he is, honestly, but he's in the comics. He's much different than probably what they're gonna do here.
Yeah,
I mean, if I hear Oscar Isaac get the shit kicked out of him and hear him say, "Let's get this bread," I'm gonna lose it.
Or he meets Punisher. He's like, "Hey, Frank, Hey, Moon Knight, how's the thank God? Good. How's the dead family? Good."
Or when he sees Morbius and mistakes him for Dracula and keeps saying, "Give me my goddamn money, Dracula."
That was a fan edit comic, but it's still hilarious.
They should just put it in there where Dracula's a real thing and Moon Knight's supposed to like kill him, but he owes him money. He's not going to do it until he gives him money.
Yes, please do. All right, well, we are running up on time, so thank you guys all for watching. Whatever you guys think about Morbius, let us know. If you liked it, please let us know why. I'd love to hear people's. I change my mind all the time on this stuff, so please let me know what you think.
Yeah, our opinions are not set in stone, and we're not tastemakers. We're just some internet dicks,
Yeah. Morbius.
Mobius.
My name is Morbius.
But if you guys have any questions you want to ask us, send it to our your question or your comment through our Facebook or Instagram with your name and your preferred pronouns, and we will be answering it live. And if you have any suggestions of what we should do next or go over or review, let us know. We'll be happy to do it.
Right. And hopefully we can pick things up a little bit more in the future. I actually have been hinting at another podcast project that I'd be interested in starting with the dudes, which I'm not going to get into now because it's still early in the planning phase, but I'm very excited for it, so keep an eye out for that. Hopefully it's in the pipeline.
Yes, and of course, sorry that we missed the last 2 weeks, but of course, we do love this show and we do love our fans, but of course, our mental health and our lives do come first. We will try to keep you guys up to date.
Gotta make that money.
Gotta make that money.
Keep the lights on in here.
Yeah, the running the compound is not cheap.
Nope.
But we will keep you guys up to date. But we do have to make sure our lives and our well-beings come first.
Exactly. And that goes for you guys too.
That goes for you guys too.
All right. Well, yeah. Be well out there, my friends.
Yes. And again, give your thanks and your money to Big Nerd Coffee Company because they have the best coffee around, and of course, you get to taste all of the rich goodness and all the goodness.
Fair trade.
Fair trade.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Please let us know what you think. Follow us on social media. Check us out next week. This has been Jimmy.
This has been Jared.